Hi Magic Makers, Mombierella here. Well, this is it. They've released Artemis Fowl on the Disney Plus streaming app. Due to COVID-19 shutdowns, movie theaters will not be releasing Artemis Fowl. So grab you some popcorn, put on your comfy PJs, and settle in for 97 minutes of a fantastical adventure. Based on Eoin Colfer's young adult series of 8 books, each focused on a 12-year-old prodigy and his dealings with fairies, dwarves, trolls, and other fantastical creatures. I've often said I'm a bit of a bookworm, and this book series is no exception to that rule. The word epic comes to mind when thinking of this series of books being turned into a series of movies, almost Harry Potter-like. But about 9 minutes into the movie, I was more worried that it would become another Percy Jackson debacle. For those fans of the book series, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if the goal was to move the plotline along or to focus on the special effects in action. Whatever the goal was, Artemis Fowl came across as a very abridged version of the story at best, with artistic license obscuring the original storyline at worst. That being said, let me share the plotline and give you my personal review. Fair warning, there will probably be spoilers sprinkled throughout. So if you want to watch the movie first, I understand, but come back and let me know what you thought in the comments. Also, if you haven't had a chance to yet, please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, share with a friend, comment down below. Let me know what you think when we're done. So, here's the plotline. When the elder Artemis Fowl Sr., played by Colin Farrell, goes missing, it falls to his son to rescue him. The younger Artemis, initially skeptical over his father's stories about fairies and other mythological creatures, is forced to reassess his beliefs when he's contacted by his father's kidnapper, a fairy named Opal Cowboy, who wants Artemis to obtain a powerful fairy relic in exchange for his father's life. The events are apparently being related as flashbacks by a gigantic dwarf, played by Josh Gad.
Your name? Mulch. Diggums. I'm just a talented Butler. Let me show you the infinite possibilities of magic. Let me tell you the story of Artemis Fowl.
Voiceovers are sporadic, however the occasional sides to Mulch's interrogation let the character steal the show right up from under Artemis's feet, so to say. But the humorous quips Mulch peppers throughout the story are offset by what can only be described as Gad's best Hagrid impersonation, though I've also heard it compared to Christian Bale's Batman's voice. Mulch speaks in a gravelly tone that contrasts the actor's usual warble, and the plentiful fake hair and dirt that makes up Mulch's costume just make the contrast that much more distinct. All the magical elements of the world are, as would be expected, impressively rendered, which makes sense considering that they expected to be showing off these special effects on the big screen. But with the swiftly moving storyline and well-portrayed gadgets and fantastical effects scattered throughout, it felt rather rushed, slowing only for a briefly yet vivid portrayal of just what makes Mulch so good at his digging. Now, let me say that in the books, I loved the character Juliet Butler. She was absolutely one of my favorites. But she really got shortchanged in this movie, coming across as barely a side note. Captain Holly Short is played by Laura McDonald, and the casting on this seems spot on. She has the cherubic and elven features that are perfect for this, but maybe it's the acting that is key. Apparently, she's read all 8 of the book series twice through. As to why they decided to use Artemis Fowl's father's journal as opposed to Artemis actually getting the official fairy book is rather beyond me. I'm not sure if they decided to bypass or if they were looking to connect you with the father on a deeper level through this. I honestly thought that was the point of this scene in the trailer, but in the end, it wasn't even included in the movie. So it was a little pointless, just like Artemis demanding a ransom for Holly, because in the book, the ransom was to help save his mother. Where is his mother? They refer to her, but you never see her. Is she supposed to be dead? Because that's just messed up. The character Foley, played by Nikesh Patel, was performed while wearing stilts, actually. A pretty cool effect if you watch. And the animation of the character's, well, hindquarters definitely function well. This being said, let's take a look at Artemis Fowl. This character was absolutely brilliant in the books. Artemis is somewhat villainous in the first adventure, and a thorn in the side of the magical world. He's aware he's not the best person, and he takes pride that he comes from a long line of criminals in his family. In the book, he's obviously observant to the point of brilliance, and deviously prepared at all times. In the movie, however, I'm not sure if they were attempting to make Artemis more relatable, or if they were attempting to make him seem more naive. Either way, his self-acclaimed criminal mastermind status at the end of the movie,
I'm Artemis Fowl. I'm a criminal mastermind.
feels like a bit of a stretch. He seems to be fumbling for footing along the path of his father's footsteps that were so unwittingly left behind for him to follow at this point. The comparison between the two Artemises is confusing. Perhaps they were attempting to take away the near Batman level of renegade vigilante from Artemis to make him a more wholesome character in general. Either way, it detracts from his charm and steps out of line from being canon with the books. The legendary Dame Judi Dench does a gender swap role for Commander Root. The character was originally male, but she does an excellent job at playing the gruff and stern, yet still actually good at what she does, Commander-in-Chief of the LEP Recon Unit.
If the humans see it, we'll lose everything.
Though I have to admit, I like the casting of Butler. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Don in the movie. I actually think Nonso Anzi played the part so well, he's probably the one character you really feel any form of connection to. But I have to say, in the books, being of the Butler line was something they were very proud of. Not in position itself, but by name as well. This was a family legacy that they passed down. I find it a little asinine that they felt they had to change his name, but he definitely proves that a rose by any other name is still a rose, because he keeps the heart of Butler intact. So I'll say this was an entertaining film. It had good effects. It had great costumes. Just don't try to compare the book to the movie. Sit back, eat your popcorn, and enjoy the ride. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember, let it go and keep moving forward. Have a magical day. Bye.